McNeil to Amherst County to Bedford. We really have hit all the counties that surround Lynchburg, and it's something that the folks that are on the education committee love to do. It's never looked upon as a burden, and you know, it's a great way to help people take more involvement in their own health, because we know that with cancer detection is huge. And then lifestyle choices are huge. So there's some cancers that are preventable, and there's some cancers that are curable if detected early. And so we try to make sure we hit both of those. We partner also with Centra extensively on that, and particularly now that we have the Cancer Center, and which is a great venue for it. And the scholarships are designed as a way to give back and to help students whose lives have been impacted by it.
That's what I was going to say. It was my understanding that the recipients of your scholarships have all had their lives touched in one way or another by cancer.
They have. It's really our scholarship criteria does not say that you have to have had your life touched by cancer, but to date, all the folks that we have awarded scholarships to have been. The criteria is that your life has been personally affected by cancer, and that could be you yourself, or it could be within your support system. Right. For many of our scholarship recipients, folks within their support system, it's a family member. The other way to get a scholarship is that you really want to go into a cancer-related field, and so it's an either-or, but more often than not, it's both. We have somebody who both wants to do that and has had their life affected by cancer.
You know, I think people who are aware of the garden are not always aware of the different news associated with the garden, like your scholarship fund and that kind of thing. I just think it's important that people know what else you do.
We've given, to give that a little more meaning, we've actually given over $40,000 in scholarships since 2003.
That's wonderful. I mean, I think that's just absolutely wonderful.
And really, to put in a plug for that, the information is with all the guidance counselors of the various high schools in the whole Central Virginia area. But again, it's about knowing that it's there. If you don't know it's there, you know, sometimes miss out on it.
I know that you mentioned this a little bit, but you do partner with Alan B. Pearson Cancer Center to provide programs, educational programs.
We have. In fact, last year we did an entire series with the Cancer Center and with Centra. It was called the Good News Series, but we had one segment of it was on prostate cancer, one was on lung, and one was on breast. And so we had 3 different programs to really deal with 3 different that affect folks of, you know, both genders and, you know, of all races and ethnic backgrounds, so that we reach as many people as we can. And, you know, that's a great place now, the Cancer Center.
It is.
Everything in one place, so it's so much better for the patients.
It is.
And the resources, the doctors, the nurses. We've been really lucky that the doctors, the radiation oncologists and the oncologists, the surgeons have all been so supportive of the community education piece of it.
Oh yeah, it's excellent.
It means everything in a small town.
In October, when you all did the program on breast cancer, I spoke as a survivor, and you know, I felt really good about being able to do that. So, you know, I appreciate.
And that was very well attended. We have reached over 600 people through cancer education programs over just the last year.
The room was packed, you know, that night, and I thought it was a really good program. The Awareness Garden Educational Committee, that's the same thing as a scholarship committee, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually have 2.
Oh, good.
We have 2 committees. Because we're volunteers, we try to be mindful of people being able to focus on things and give as much time as they can, and so we don't overburden any one person, but we have a scholarship chair, and we have an education committee chair, and we have a landscape committee chair.
That's good.
So, yeah.
You know, the Awareness Garden is, I saw it on the news, went to your website and looked about the partnership you have right now with the EC Glass girls varsity basketball team, and it's under a heading of Season of Awareness. Is that correct? Will you tell us about that? Because I think it's wonderful that, it's these kids are doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really neat thing. That wasn't our idea. It was their idea, and The coach of the girls basketball team, Van Porter, and his wife Nina Porter, work with these girls, all year long. And basketball season's just the most intense period of work, but they have relationships with the gals that play on the team. And they decided that this season they wanted to have something more to it than playing great basketball. And they chose breast cancer because it's something that is so so important to women, and it's so important to young women, and so they approached us about it, and we helped leverage our relationships and friendships with folks with the garden to help them get the funds to have their pink uniforms. They wear pink uniforms to all the home games, and we also have the ability to have a table set up at the home game so we can pass out information to folks about breast cancer awareness and community education and what we do. So it's been a great win-win for both of us. And we'll also be doing a program this spring at EC Glass for women about breast cancer.
They had a game recently, didn't they? Because they were on the news and they had on their pink uniforms, and I thought that was just...
They've had 2 home games in their pink uniforms, and they have another one coming up this Friday night. They play Heritage High School this Friday, so that's a big game. But from the garden standpoint, we love EC Glass, we love Heritage, we love Amherst, we love Liberty High School. We went to Liberty High School Monday night because they're doing raising breast cancer awareness there too, and again set up our stuff, and that goes back to that travel and road show thing.
All right, you've brought some pictures with you, and Phil, if you'll put the pictures up on the screen, we're going to get Leslie to tell us what they are.
There's the EC Glass girls basketball team. That was the first home game. They played Amherst, and like I said, they've had another home game since then. They've got one coming up on Friday night. They've got about 3 more home games left.
That's cool.
And they're pink uniforms, and they're wearing pink in their hair. And anybody who wears pink, we have a little fun with when they come to the game. So we're encouraging them, anything from free candy to free ribbons and
Wonderful.
stuff. And that's Van Porter, who's the coach in the white shirt, and his girls. That's our table set up there, and that's the chair of the education committee, talking to somebody about what we do. And that the chair of the education committee is Kathy Spiegel, and that's my mother.
Oh.
She's been involved. She's on her 2nd term for the garden, just like I am. Yeah, it's addictive, right? Season of awareness is, as you said, what they've called this season and what they're dedicating it to. Of course, that's the garden. After some of the snow, the big snowstorm we had was leaving us, but still decorated for the holiday season. We each December decorate the garden and sort of holiday festive.
You have a lighting ceremony at Christmas?
In early December we have a lighting of the garden, and thousands of lights go up there. It's a winter wonderland, and it's just wonderful for kids. It's really a holiday celebration because we are a public space, so it's not so much affiliated with Christmas. It's more just holiday carols, and the acapellas and the acapellas from us performed this last year. They've been there a couple of times. That's the fountain in the garden, which was given by the Patterson family in memory of their family member Mark. And one of the things Lala wanted, I'll say about this picture, when the fountain went in a couple of years ago, but when the garden was created in 2003, she really wanted it to be an attraction for kids as well. So we were really thrilled when that fountain had the 2 children in it. It's just the gardenscape across. You could see the bell in that picture in the middle, and that's what you were talking about before, what you ring 3 times. And there it is closer up. We call it Lala's bell.
I was going to ask what the history of the bell is.
Lala's bell was really dedicated by her family, and she rang that bell. She was the first person. There's something beautiful about it.
It really is.
Been very careful to use materials and plants that are native to